Hello everybody, Daz here. As I promised you before, I will be doing daily updates. So today's will be midday update, so to speak, and I explain why. I basically finished the loop, I filled it up. 2 components only, very straightforward, easy lines going around. So the filling process was extremely simple. I actually can even show you that I literally fill the system within 2-3 minutes, and was the easiest fill up ever. There's also one thing that I did the first time, so to speak. I usually fill up from the top, but this time, because I have this valve thingy, I figured out that I can just connect a piece of tube to the valve, open the top for air getting out easier, and yeah, so I just filled it from the tube, and when I need to disconnect, I just shut down the valve and take the tube out. So I don't even need to flip case or anything, so I don't need, so I don't spill any liquid. So very easy. I like that solution. The main thing is that don't forget to close the stop plug on top. But basically, I would like to outline to you the final decisions I made for the tube route. And after that, I will continue with elbow grease things such as mounting some front 525 devices, putting additional fans in place. So all these boring things that you have to do, but it's absolutely not worth filming or anything like this. So let's talk quickly about my final loop design. So I already spoke yesterday that we switched from ugly K unit for dark side reservoir, which is a little bit more nicer. I bolted it to back panel. Have to drill 2 holes, not very difficult. Caselabs is just, every time I work on Caselabs, it's just highlighting how much I love those cases because they're so damn easy to work with. So I wanted to mount reservoir, drilling hole in aluminum takes like 1 second. So it was really easy, and it was pleasure to do that little upgrade yesterday. So I put this new reservoir, I leveled up this port with this 90-degree fittings that I already had in place on a Titan card, so the line on the tube is straight, and I connected them together. And I hide it 90-degree turn behind the GPU. So it's just a straight line, but actually it's turning, as you can see. We already spoke that we have this 90-degree turn to CPU, because actually the way how this reservoir is constructed, the exit is here, and the inlet is there, right? So if I want to go, let's say, from GPU to inlet, so I would need to do another 90-degree and have this tube coming up, and it will be quite ugly. Most people do it, but I don't like ugly. So I decided to somewhat reverse water flow that I usually do, but it doesn't really make any difference on practical performance. So what we have here, so we exit, pump, and the reservoir combo. We're going to GPU block, going through the block, going to the inlet of CPU. That was the reason I have to demount it or mount it second time, because I actually had it 180 degree and it's supposed to be exit, but now because it's inlet I have to flip the block, so let's just spend time on that. And we're exiting block straight up. Luckily we have those slim radiators, which is make things pretty easier. You can see the clearance is huge, so it's absolutely no problem. And I go up with the tube. So after that, I actually didn't like this horizontal tube that's going across the case, because it's a little bit too much. So I decided to shift to the black tube that totally will be blending with back of the case. Easy, right? So when I run it this way, so it's not intrusive, so those lines will be colored later, the black one will be stay invisible, alright? And finally we get into reservoir, getting out of reservoir, sorry, we're coming out of radiator and we need to come back to reservoir, right? And back to reservoir again with black tube 2. Why I did that? I actually thought that I will only use 1 black tube in the back, and this one will be transparent with the colored liquid later. But when I start looking on the front of the case, this will be like kind of a line of color going on the front, and I don't think it will look good, to be honest with you. So I decided to mask it, and I made it black as well. So whole stuff on the front will be totally hidden, and it will be discreet and elegant. That's the purpose. Alrighty? So that's basically the loop. You see, I have no hardware whatsoever, no memory, no power supply, nothing. This will be the most tedious and not exciting job. I love to do this stuff, as you can see, and I absolutely hate to do all this cabling nonsense, and it probably will take me more time to do it than, let's say, water cooling itself, because this is, I only bend realistically in 3 places: 90° 1, 90° 2, and 90° 3 here. The rest is straight lines, very easy to cut, so even with acrylic it wasn't that much a hassle. I always was thought that PTG is so much better and so much faster, but this particular build I was able to move pretty fast. It just, you need to practice a little bit, and after that you will be fine. So I definitely will never ever use a stupid PTG anymore, because as I said, that I have a couple of clients where PTG deformed due to high heat of the system, and after it deformed it started leaking, and people lost their computer. So I will not make any freaking build for my customers with PTG nonsense, so they potentially can lose their system. So acrylic all the way, end of story. But still will sell it in store, because people don't care, they will just want cheap, right? So, or easy. So anyways, if I do it, it's acrylic. So that's it for today. I will still spend a few hours, as I said, on mending all these little elbow grease portions. But yeah, I love the system. Can't wait to put colored liquid and see how it will look with colored, and figure out what's the best lighting effect to make it look nice. So far I'm expect to use white LEDs, but who knows? This will be separate. Half a day project just to play with things and stuff like this. And again, one thing that for sure I agreed with customer, we're ditching this controller thingy. We'll use a motherboard. It's only 4 fans really, or actually not 4, it's like 4 here and 3 there. So again, it's not that much. So, and there's some options coming with the motherboard as well. I didn't read yet, but hold on, give me a second. I just want to show you something. Maybe somebody who already has the system can help me out and make a quick comment on the video. There's some sort of splitter that powered with Molex and has a bunch of connectors, like 4 of them, for the fans. So this is already 4 fan splitter, so that thing can be used for radiator, for example, to control it, and the rest 3 I can just go to the motherboard. So basically we don't need control at all, but if anybody uses little board thing, I would appreciate if you make a comment for me. I understand that probably you need to connect it with some sort of USB or something like this to make it work, but I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But again, there's no controller, but the space of controller will be taken with another cool device. This motherboard is just like Asus was generous, I would say. I'll give you a few extra goodies that usually I don't get. So this you have this 525 Supreme FX thing. I didn't read the instructions either, so but I assume that it's basically amplifier, because have a pretty potent power coming on the back, and it's connected to motherboard for audio. So I think this could be pretty cool ODAC thingy that will take place instead of controller, and it looks 100% better than controller, because controller looks a little bit dated, like grandpa type of computer things. This one is modern. So the whole front will be pretty sweet as I estimated it, but still need to mount it and everything. So we'll use big brackets to mask kind of a little bit silverish color, so it will be black, the same as everything else. And yeah, that's the thing. I stopped talking because that's enough for this video. Alright? Thanks guys! I will continue to work and update you. I'm getting close, as you can see. So sometimes I build for an entire year, sometimes I build in a week. I'm trying. See you later.